Just because the twins upset my wife's childhood sweetheart, Travis Ebbington, she ordered them to be kept in the basement. I knelt on the ground, crying and pleading to my wife for our children's sake. Our children are still young and the basement is dark. They will be scared. I'm their father. If you want to discipline someone, discipline me instead. But Tatiana leaned against her childhood sweetheart's arms and looked down at me. She coldly told me, "Enough, Nate. You spoil the children too much. That's why they don't know how to behave. I am their mother. Don't I have the right to guide my own children?" The children were so hungry in the basement that they found a bag of dried shrimp somewhere. That night, they had severe reactions in the hospital due to seafood allergies. But while I waited in distress, my wife's childhood sweetheart posted a celebration of her pregnancy on WhatsApp Moments. When my Dimitri Humphrey rushed to the hospital, I collapsed at the ICU room's door. "Dimitri, please, I beg you. I don't want anything else. I just want my children to be okay." The ICU room's light stayed on for God knew how many hours. My heart felt like it was under unbearable pressure. The suffering made it hard to breathe. Dimitri couldn't help but look at me with sympathy. He tried to comfort me by saying, "Don't say that now. The children's safety is the most important thing. When they're out of danger, I'll make sure Tatiana understands the consequences." Before Dimitri could finish, I handed him my phone with trembling hands. A social media post from Travis had gone up just 30 minutes earlier. At Travis Ebbington, "You are the child your parents wished for. Your parents will love you forever." Attached was an ultrasound scan. The words on the report were clear. Tatiana was 6 weeks pregnant with her lover's child. When Dimitri saw it, he fell silent for a moment before speaking softly. "I'll call Tatiana right now. Don't worry. You're the only son-in-law our Humphrey family recognizes. Oh, you don't need to worry about it." But I didn't wait. I called Tatiana myself and put it on speaker. As soon as she answered, her impatient voice came through. "Are you going to tell me the kids are in critical condition again? I only kept them there for a day. How could it be that serious? Can't you come up with a better excuse?" "Nate, you really upset me." Before I could say a word, she hung up. Dimitri's face turned pale. He didn't know what to say anymore. On the other hand, tears streamed down my face. "Dimitri, I have nothing left. I only have my 2 children. Please let me go. Let them go." Just as he was about to respond, the ICU room's lights went out. I jumped to my feet and rushed to the doctor. To my surprise, he only shook his head. The doctor then solemnly explained, "The twins suffered severe laryngeal edema from the seafood allergy. They couldn't breathe properly for too long, so they were already in a coma when they arrived at the hospital. We did everything we could. I'm truly sorry for your loss, sir." As he spoke, 2 hospital beds were pushed out of the emergency room. 2 small bodies lay still, covered by white sheets. There was no sound. My legs gave out. Before I realized what just happened, I collapsed to the floor. I still couldn't believe what was happening. When Dimitri arranged for the funeral home to handle the arrangements, I followed him like a lost soul. But when the remains were being loaded into the funeral home's car, something inside me broke. I ran forward, grabbing the door tightly to stop them from leaving. "My children need to stay with me. Where are you taking them? They belong with me," I shouted, my voice hoarse with grief. "Please let me take them home. I want to take them home." Dimitri could only hold me back. My Dimitri-in-law was also crying. His own voice broke as he shouted my name, but I didn't care. "Nate, it's okay. Cry it all out. I know you're really heartbroken, mate. Just let it all out. It's okay. It's okay." Oh. Several people gently guided me away. The moment my hand slipped from the car door, the funeral car drove off. That was the end. I watched as it got farther away, taking my children with it. My body finally gave out and I closed my eyes, drifting into unconsciousness. When I woke up, I was in the old Humphrey family's mansion. Dimitri sat by my bed, his eyes red and swollen. As soon as he saw me open my eyes, he wiped away his tears and spoke in relief. "Nate, you're awake. Do you want some water? Are you hungry?" I tried to force a smile, but tears rolled down my face. "Dimitri, please, let me go. I have nothing left." Dimitri froze, then sighed as if he'd made up his mind. "Fine, Nate. I'll tell Grandpa." I watched his back as he left. As soon as he was gone, I covered my eyes with the back of my hand and sobbed. I had come to the Humphrey family when I was 6. Mr. Humphrey and my grandfather, Mr. Brown, had been wartime comrades. Both were bound by lifelong friendship. When I was 3, my parents died in an accident. My grandfather raised me until he passed when I was 6, leaving me alone. Mr. Humphrey took me in, raising me as his own. Over the years, both he and Dimitri treated me like family. For 7 years, no matter how cruel Tatiana was, I endured it. I stayed home, did the housework and cared for our children. I thought having them was enough, but now I had nothing. When Dimitri returned, he said, "Grandpa wants to see you." Mr. Humphrey sat in his rocking chair, looking at me with sorrow. "Nate, I've heard everything. My stubbornness kept you trapped all these years. The children will be buried tomorrow. After that, you're free to go. That ungrateful woman never deserved you." I bowed deeply, tears hitting the floor, grateful for their care. But I could never forgive Tatiana or remain her husband. Mr. Humphrey sighed. "All right, my dear Nate, you can go." Back in my room, Tatiana entered. She sneered. "Complaining to Grandpa? Think that'll make me obey you? I don't know how you've manipulated them all these years." Seeing her, intense emotions overwhelmed me. Their voices echoed. "Dad, where's Mom? We miss her. Dad, we love you. And we love Mom too." Their last words. "Don't blame Mom. Please don't fight because of us." I turned away, sitting on the bed. Tatiana's expression darkened. She grabbed my wrist, pushing me down. "What's this act? You wanted me back. Now you're rejecting me." She leaned in, but I resisted, accidentally causing her discomfort. Tatiana sat up sharply. "Are you insane? You've gotten clever first faking emergencies, now playing hard to get? Where are the kids? Left alone at 5 years old." My voice was cold. "The children are gone." For a second, shock flashed in her eyes before she smirked. "You'll say anything for sympathy." Leaving, she snapped, "Don't complain to Grandpa about this. or I'll find you even more pathetic. The door slammed. I wiped my face fiercely. Once we'd been in love. At 18, she shyly asked, "Can I like you?" Promising to treat me well. For 2 years I cherished her. At 22, our grandfather announced our wedding. That day, her warmth vanished. After marriage, she grew colder, ignoring our children for her childhood sweetheart. "You got what you wanted," she'd sneered. "The title and the child. What more?" For 7 years, she never loved me or our children. Now they were gone. What remained worth living for? Early the next morning, Mr. Humphrey and Dimitri took me to the funeral home. When my children were slowly uncovered after the preparations, my vision blurred with tears. My lips trembled, but I remained silent. Dimitri watched me with concern. "You can let it out if you need to," he said gently. I shook my head. Mr. Humphrey struck his cane against the ground, his expression stern. How could their mother be absent today of all days? Dimitri lowered his voice. I tried calling Tatiana. Her phone was off. When the final arrangements were complete with lilies placed for my twins, Mr. Humphrey reached out. I stepped forward first, my hands resting protectively on the surfaces as I carefully adjusted the flowers. "They're mine," I said softly. "My children." Before Mr. Humphrey could respond, I knelt before him. "You've given me everything, but these children belong with me. Please, they won't rest in the family plot. I can't allow that." A heavy silence followed. Dimitri met my gaze with understanding. "Of course, Nate. We'll respect your wishes." I left holding the lilies close, returning home to gather my children's belongings. Upon opening the door, I heard voices from our bedroom. "Be careful," the doctor said. A man's voice replied, "I'll be mindful." Intimate murmurs followed. I stood frozen, clutching the flowers until they finally emerged. Travis feigned surprise. "Nate, Tatiana said the kids were out." Tatiana cut in sharply. "Why explain to him?" Noticing the lilies, she wrinkled her nose. "Those morning flowers are revolting." As they left laughing, I whispered to the lilies, "Don't listen. She didn't mean you." Carefully placing them down, I began collecting my children's possessions, clothes, toys, and unfinished drawing. Tracing the lines, the finality washed over me. With trembling hands, I removed the canvas from the drawing board. At the top, 3 words were scrawled in childish handwriting. "Family of 4. Below, in smaller letters, was another message. "Mom loves Dad." A tiny heart was drawn beside it. I clutched the canvas to my chest, and for the first time that day I broke down. For 5 years I had raised my children alone. No matter what happened between Tatiana and me, I never spoke badly about her in front of them. Yet my children had seen the truth for themselves. They knew their mother didn't love their father. By the time night fell, I had packed all of their belongings into several boxes. I had scheduled a cross-state moving service in advance, and now I stood outside, watching the movers load the boxes into the truck one by one. "Mr. Brown, everything's packed. We're ready to go," one of the workers informed me. I nodded, turned back into the house, and placed the signed divorce agreement on the coffee table. Then I picked up the lilies, holding them close. For the first time in a long while, I felt a strange sense of relief. As soon as I got into the car, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Travis. "Travis Ebbington. Nate, I'm really sorry. Tatiana won't be home for the next few days. She insisted on taking me to Hawaii for a vacation. Sorry." Attached was a picture. I didn't bother opening it. Seeing something like this at a time like this, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel pain. I felt nothing, to be honest. A bitter chuckle escaped me. Without hesitation, I pulled out my SIM card, broke it, and tossed it out the window as the car rolled forward. As I hugged the lilies tighter, I watched through the rearview mirror as the villa, the house I had lived in for 7 years, grew smaller and smaller in the distance. Meanwhile, at the airport, Mr. Humphrey and Dimitri stood in front of Tatiana and Travis, blocking their path to security. Tatiana's face twisted into an annoyed scowl. "Is Nate crazy?" she spat. "He acts so magnanimous at home, but now he sends you two to chase me down? That's disgusting." Before she could finish, Mr. Humphrey raised his cane and made contact with her face. "You heartless woman." The old man's voice trembled with emotion as he shouted, "You failed your own children and still have the nerve to take your lover on vacation? How could someone so heartless come from my family?" Tatiana staggered, clutching her cheek. "Grandpa, what are you talking about?"